Try that again. And welcome to the Baldwin Kids Podcast, a space dedicated to discussing sociopolitics, mental health issues, and nerd culture. I am the Glacial K.
And I'm the addictive Vesta. Meow.
Lord. Anyway, disregard the giggles at the beginning. I didn't know Vesta was ready to go, and so he decided to start recording on me.
Yep.
And then I realized it, and yeah.
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 Yeah. Let's get into it today.
It's a mess, it's a mess, it's a mess, it's a mess. So, let us begin. Can I help you?
No, you just so.
Lord.
Okay.
So, let us begin. We're going to start with our usual Democrats and Republicans section and the subsection of the Anita Chronicles. I feel like we need a sound effect or something for that one too.
No, it's not worth it.
Just record him going China or something.
No, I don't have the time, patience,
or find the clip of him saying I have a very good relationship with the blacks.
I mean, we could. Yeah, I might just do that now.
Anyway, so we're going to start with something that had me full... You know what? Let me just read it.
Mm-hmm.
Or read my notes on it, because if I read the actual article, I'm going to go off.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he was, quote, pushed to close the El Paso border and resume family separations.
Like, okay, we're just going to actively be the worst kind of people.
Here's my thing. Like, I'm at the point... And I hate that this political climate is so polarizing, because the thing is, I like talking with people that disagree with me, but I also don't like talking to monsters. I genuinely and literally hate people who are supporting this nonsense of separating families. Like Anna Navarro, for example. I think she's a CNN correspondent. I forget where exactly. I know she is a political correspondent, and she's an outspoken Republican. Here's the thing. I feel like she and I can have an actual genuine, heartfelt conversation and disagree about things, but still be on the side of sanity, which includes not jailing children and having them sleep on gravel.
I disagree. Because I just saw a post about someone whose mother studied the history of cults and new wave or like what a freaking term for it.
You mean New Age religion?
Yeah, New Age religion. There we go. And one of the tactics for recruitment is them constantly asking people to debate them.
Oh no.
So I don't tend to do that.
There's a
I have no need to debate. I don't want to debate. I don't feel like explaining why I agree with my own ideas.
See, I wish I still had that.
Especially when I have the ideas that make sense. You know what I mean?
Seriously.
So
there's a post, I forget. I forget if it was on Facebook or Tumblr, but I know I shared it, where somebody tries to demand that I debate them, and I'm like, I've known you for all of 2 minutes on the internet.
I've known you
seen
for
your
8
face.
seconds, and I hated every minute of it.
Or every bit of it.
Every bit of it, yeah, I saw that.
You are not entitled to my time or my emotional labor. If I put any emotional labor or research or anything into anything, it's more for other people, not for you.
Right. I love that post, by the way.
Oh wait, you're not in the Hamilton though, because I was definitely going to make a reference.
Yeah,
I'm not going to debate somebody because I'm not here for you.
God damn it.
Anyway, like I said, I'm going to save my thoughts on this for later.
Okay.
Because y'all got me fucked up.
Okay.
Got me 50 Shades of Full Circle fucked up, if we want to be
31
accurate.
flavors.
4 corners of 50 Shades of Full Circle fucked
Wow,
up.
that was a lot.
Bitch, I could keep going
That
because this had me hot.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, though, Iran's behavior is actually quite fitting because since we, blacklisted the Iranian military, aka the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, they're like, oh, okay, so y'all are some terrorists or terrorist enablers, got it. Which, I mean, brown people in this country been knew, but I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we knew that.
So, yeah. Oh, and bonus, so Anita might not be on the ballot in 2020.
I live for that.
Same. Illinois as well as 17 other states who were not listed for some reason, but whatever, are basically saying either drop them taxes, sis, or don't get votes.
Yeah.
In a slightly less colloquial manner, Illinois is considering a bill that would require Trump to release his tax returns over the last 5 years in order to be put on the presidential ballot in 2020. Because, I mean, like, the thing is that his supporters and detractors alike should be all over that.
Right.
Because he swore up and down that he was going to, release his taxes during the campaign trail, and here we are, a crisp 2 years later, and nothing.
Right.
But anyway, let's stop talking about him and start talking about other people who got me fucked up. Namely, Alabama and Texas.
Okay.
Did you read about this at all?
I read about Texas.
Yeah.
I know about the Texas tomfoolery. I don't know about Alabama.
So basically, and again, this is one of those articles that had me seeing red, so I didn't read too far into it.
Mm-hmm.
But short version, Alabama is considering seriously looking at a law that would criminalize abortions with a 10 to 99 year prison sentence.
Oh.
I didn't get to whether or not it counted for people who left the state. I didn't read any of that because again, I don't need my blood pressure going up.
Right, because that already just sounds dumb as hell. I love it.
And Texas is so pro-birth they'll kill you.
Yeah, that was the one I saw, and I'm like, oh.
No, seriously, like they're considering a bill that can punish abortion with execution.
Death, yeah. Death penalty for abortion. I'm like, okay.
I'm failing to see the disconnect, or I'm failing to see how y'all don't see the disconnect.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't. Do you know where you are? Hello.
So you already view it as killing the baby, so you're going to kill the mother and the baby.
I'm like, okay.
So 2 deaths are better than 1.
Oh, okay.
As a sidebar, in this. You know what? I'm going to leave it because it's not on here and I don't remember all the details for it.
Okay.
Oh, God. Now it's going to bug me because I can't remember what exactly it was. Oh, right. People failing to see the disconnect. So I only skimmed the headline of this. I should probably look more into it for next time, even though we don't really talk about a whole lot of international news unless it directly depends on us.
Right.
Directly involves the U.S. But there's some rumors or something floating around in Australia.
Oh, good.
About deciding whether or not what's the word? What's the word for kick somebody out of your country? Deport. There we go. Threaten to deport Aboriginal people.
Oh.
I'm just over here like, to where?
Rare, yeah.
To where? Bitch, we're.
What does Aboriginal mean? Google it. Think about that.
Marinate on it. That's almost as bad as like. That's oh god. What was it? That some Trump-Luddite is saying, questioning somebody's citizenship, and the dude's a whole ass Native American.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, anyway, like I said, this wasn't on the outline. It just reminded me of it. Let's see. What's the other bullshit? Texas actually is just fucking up left, right, and center because they're also considering a bill which basically will allow people to pull a no cakes for the gays except for, medical assistance.
No cake. Oh, okay. I was like, no cake. I know plenty of gays that. I was like, I'm so confused for a second.
This is the wrong kind of cake.
Like, I got cakes, you got cakes. What are you talking about?
Bitch. Anyway. Wow. Anyway, yeah, they're considering that, and I just can't help but think of this one tweet I saw a little while ago of somebody raising their hand in like a paramedics class or something and asking the question of, what if we disagree with the person's lifestyle that we're supposed to be helping? And the professor just flatly goes, find another profession.
Oh, I remember. I think I've seen that before. Yeah.
Yeah, and to which I agree. Find another profession.
Yeah, like deuces.
If you cannot fulfill the requirement of your job to help people in need, then find another profession.
Right. Exactly.
Like, me as a first aid certified and trained person, if somebody in a MAGA hat got shot, I'm still going to give them first aid. I'll cuss them the smooth fuck out later, but that's part of one of my jobs.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't agree with you because you want me literally dead, but bitch, I'm still better than you, and I can show it.
How about that?
Oh, and last but not least, measles.
Yeah.
Measles in New York in 2000
Right.
in 1919. I'm sorry, no, 2019. Actually, do you know offhand when the measles vaccine was dropped? Was it in like the early 50s or something?
Yeah, somewhere way back when.
It was old enough that long enough ago that I think our parents might have been some of the first people to get it. But there have been confirmed, I want to say around 150 cases in a single community in New York State specifically, where the vaccination rate of the whole community is roughly 74%,
Which is not enough.
which is not enough for herd immunity.
Right.
And we've got these crunchy ass parents going, "Oh, I only have to use essential oils, and my son child will be protected from all these 18th and 19th century diseases. I have nothing to worry about."
Meanwhile, they're dying.
Yeah. Yeah, measles will literally fucking kill you. Like,
It's
will
like,
literally
oh.
fucking kill you.
I'm like, oh, okay.
You know, here's like I completely understand. There's aspects of anti-vaxness that I kind of understand, like wanting to know what's in the vaccines, what's going in your body, what's been done with it, what the processes were, and stuff like that. But at the same time, bitch, Jonas Salk didn't not patent his vaccine, so you bitches can be like, "Oh, I don't need them. I'm fine. My unvaccinated child is not a threat to your vaccinated child." Blah 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 blah. When you clearly didn't go to Google University long enough to know that how herd immunity exactly works. You only looked for something that confirmed your bias and your Jenny McCarthy level bullshit,
Right.
basing itself on like a 12 or 13-year-old study that got
It's proven
debunked.
wrong anyway.
Debunked 14, 15, 16,
That's what-
17 different ways.
That's what aggravates me so much.
And bitch, these people got me agreeing with teriyaki lentils of all people.
With fucking Topeka laryngitis.
Like,
Topeka lamb chop.
so Tequila Tequila Mockingbird actually.
Come again.
That sounds like a drag queen name. Coming to the stage.
Tequila Mockingbird. Tweet, tweet, bitches. Tweet, tweet.
Tweet, tweet, death drop. Anyway, so Tequila Mockingbird even went on her whole final thoughts tirade. And normally I can't stand her, but frankly, she was actually ringing true for literally everything.
Her and her nose. Or what's left of it.
I didn't want to go that far. Yeah. Tommy Lahren and I actually agree on something, which is that being anti-vaccination is self-centered, asinine, and dangerous. Like, you've got people, you know of people in these third world countries that literally crawl themselves holding their children up to places to get vaccines for these diseases that are ravaging their regions. But you just think that some granola and lavender essential oil is going to keep you safe from the measles, bitch. Like, what? This is why your parents got you vaccinated, but you don't want to get, juniper berry vaccinated.
Right.
I don't know. I just thought of the first natural sounding name I could think of. No shade to anybody named Juniper out there. Anyway,
Fucking.
I'm just gonna move on because like I feel like I need a shower after agreeing with with Tequila Mockingbird.
Go ahead, fucking tuba lamprey.
Tuba lamprey.
All right, what's next?
Topeka, Los Angeles.
Why are mine so bad compared to everyone else's? What was Ace's?
I don't know, but Tortellini Linguini, I guess that's all.
Oh, I hate it. No, I need to remember what his was. What? Thank you so much. He's in the other tuna Lamborghini.
Jesus. Anyway.
That was amazing.
Anyway.
All right.
Anyway, now that we're done talking about Tesla Longboat, we're going to move on.
Tesla Longboat.
We're gonna move on to our rapid fire section with starting off with Ilhan Omar. I mean, she's speaking the truth. Because Stephen Miller is a mass murderer looking at his white supremacist. Like, he looks like he smells his own farts and fantasizes about killing people that don't get sunburned easily.
Right.
I'm here for it, honestly. Like,
Same.
call these people out. I'm loving. Like, I don't remember who. I think it was actually my fave that really started this. Where she corrected somebody where they tweeted out something blah 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 blah, this racially tinged blah blah blah, and she's like, nah sis, you want to say racist, that's the word you're looking for.
Racially
Racist.
tinged.
Racist.
That was so dumb.
Racista.
Racista.
And so I'm seeing more and more people being less chicken shit about calling it what it is. Call a spade a spade. You know, Stephen Miller is a white supremacist. He's got a documented history of being a white supremacist. He looks like he wants to be the next Führer. So, am I wrong? Bitch, have you seen a picture of him?
I've seen, yes.
He looks like a whole disease. Anyway, next. Actually, speaking of her, y'all need to just get off AOC's dick. Like, get off her dick. Get off. Like, Fox News, and I use that word loosely, over the past month and a half has mentioned her a smooth 3,200 times.
Damn, they just really want the bean, huh?
Like,
what?
Like, I know she scares you guys, but
we get it. It's your king.
I get fear boners, but Jesus,
right?
Like, so afraid of her, so we have to look at her all the time, so we're not as afraid of her,
right? Or
something. I don't know, but she's coming for you and your edges and your easily clockable fronts,
your way,
so you can crumble.
Okay.
Anyway, also, New York, since we mentioned her earlier.
Concrete jungle, wet green tomato.
You know what, bitch? Concrete jungle, wet green tomato. Anyway,
take that harmony. That was no auto tune. All right, go ahead.
Just for fun, you should like auto tune the shit out of that.
You know what? I might auto tune. Don't worry, you'll see what'll happen later.
Oh Jesus! I one fear. Anyway, so New York recently removed cannabis from unemployment drug screens. Which, if, you know, New York wasn't so hilariously expensive to live in.
I know, right? Have I told you this? Fellow nerds, y'all remember Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy? Do you know the building that they filmed the Daily Bugle? Like the big, like, weird triangular building? Yeah. Those are actually apartments in real life. I got to walk up to it and see it. They're actually apartments. Do you want to know how much the studios are?
$3,200 a month. That's too low.
That's too low,
bitch. What?
And we're gonna leave that at that.
For a studio.
For a studio
in
that building.
Like, I thought 32. Like, bitch.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And it goes up to 2 bedrooms. I don't want to know what those cost.
Probably like $10,000 a month or something else obnoxious.
And apparently Mariah Carey lives right next to it in like one of the tall buildings, or like owns an apartment up there.
So that's all that off-key whistling was in your Snapchats.
Actually, that was coming from the Friends fountain because they thought that they were the better sitcom.
On what planet? Like, how are you gonna rip off a planet of planet? How are you gonna rip off of a TV show of a bunch of people of color and then have literally no people of color in your entire show?
Yep. Go ahead, New York.
People love that show, and Netflix, you know, threw a whole bag at them to keep the show, and I'm like, it's not even.
Why though?
It's not even that good.
It's really not. All right. Thank you, New York, for being smart.
Thank you. Next. Oh, and last but not least, Tiger Woods won at the Masters. Congratulations, I guess.
I give 0 fucks. So next.
Well, you know, I was gonna say a black man.
Oh, come on, Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I was gonna say.
The way you just did that with your voice.
See, I thought you were gonna reference the "I spilled some red lipstick in your Valentino bag." You
But yeah, I saw him on. He was on TV at work, and I'm like, he's alive.
I mean,
He literally looks like the Crypt Keeper that just decided to just dip himself in the chocolate for a day.
Good evening, kitties. I mean, he doesn't even claim being black, so we're actually gonna move on.
Yep.
Actually, we're gonna be moving on to our palate cleanse. Oh no!
I pressed both buttons at the same time.
We're gonna actually start with one of my faves, Queer Eye.
Okay.
So, the episode that I was trying to tell you about that you, for some reason, have no interest in.
I don't want to see Queer Eye, you guys.
Karamo is like...
I get it, they're hot or whatever.
Karamo is gorgeous.
But I'm just like, okay, cool. If I wanted to watch HGTV, I would just turn it on upstairs. Have Drag Race playing next to it.
Ew.
I know, right?
Anyway, Jess, the strong black lesbian, who says she was inspired by Janelle Monáe, among other things. Also, oh my God, I have to show you a picture. One of her friends showed up in like heeled light blue Timbs.
Yes, I saw those.
And some kind of shawl. And I just need to know who they are because I live for that aesthetic.
Same.
And I feel like somebody else said that they knew I was going to like their aesthetic. And they were right.
Yeah.
Because my wig, I live. Anyway, so basically, Jess, part of the episode that she was on, she was saying how she wanted to go back to college but couldn't afford it and was like swimming in student loan debt and whatnot. And somebody was like, so girl, here's a GoFundMe check. It's a smooth $90,000. Go get your education. Go get your education. Go get your education.
What the hell was that?
You don't know what that's a reference?
No.
As much of a househead as you are.
Oh. Wait.
I got my education. I got my education. Anyway,
I'll
show you when we're not recording.
Okay.
Also, just a quick sidebar mention, and something that I absolutely love. Taraji Henson is doing a lot of work in the mental health field, and while I only skimmed the article and all of the details just escaped my skull because I'm stressed out about this snow. Fuck the snow. Anyway, bitch, it's April.
It's April, and it's literally snowing. I had to walk outside in 30-degree weather with snow on the ground. It's not okay.
Yeah. Anyway, the fact that more and more high-profile black celebrities are actually talking about mental health and actually doing things to address their mental health, I feel like is going to actually be the beginning of some kind of mental health revolution in the black community.
Ma'am.
And I live for every second of it.
Same.
Because, you know, maybe in 5 or 6 years we'll be past the point of go pray about it, baby, isn't a valid response to somebody saying that they're depressed. Or, what you got to be depressed for? You got everything you need. Being considered a valid response or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, I live for that day. Oh, wow. We actually breezed through that faster than I was expecting.
I know, right? How about that?
How about that? So, we are going to take a break and let Mr. Fahrenheit take over for a little bit with a new track. Did he say he was working on this, or is this like pretty much done?
On it, yeah.
Okay. So, a new track from the one and only Mr. Fahrenheit called Never Gonna Stop.
Never gonna stop.
So, Anyway, you'll get your life, and we'll be back with some mental health stuff.
Yes, I do the cleaning. Yes, I do the cleaning.
Bitch, are you really
yes,
going to
I do
reference
the
that as soon as
cleaning.
we walk
Yes,
in?
I do the cleaning. Yes, I do the cleaning. Yes, I do the cleaning. It's so good. I love it. I love it so much.
So we're fighting off the air. I just hope you're aware. So anyway, we're going to move on to our mental health section.
Section.
No, you know what? No, I'm not gonna.
What?
I was going to deliver that entire section like this.
Oh, sounds like a vomit.
Anyway, welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to our mental health section. Just as our introductory disclaimer, as always, Vesta and I are a couple of loudmouths with some shiny new recording software, some recording equipment, a lot to say, and a lot that we've dealt with with mental health stuff. So please. Oh, I'm sorry. We are not mental health professionals. So please take what we say with a trailer full of salt.
So much more satisfying. Less syllables.
See, I'm gonna have to come up with something that's
It needs
just
to
like,
be more monosyllabic.
bitch. I'm gonna come up with something more polysyllabic.
That reminds me of, have you seen Treasure Planet? Let me make this as
Yes.
monosyllabic as possible. I don't.
She was one of the queens of shade. Let me make
Doctor,
this.
with the most possible respect, zip your howling screamer. Literally knew I was gay from the moment I saw her on
Because
screen.
you
I'm like,
stan.
you know what? Bitch.
Stan,
Come on, pussy.
work this pussy.
Work
Anyway,
this- okay. I mean, well, that's what the doctor did after a while. They had kids.
I know. Anyway, so our mental health section this time is gonna be kind of interesting. It could be long, it could be short. We'll see how the conversation goes. But recently a thing crossed my timeline about John Bradley, known to some of you Game of Thrones girls as Samuel Tarly, talking about his self-body image and how he'd been chubby the majority of his life. And how he hated it, and how he would give anything to just wake up and be an average weight and stuff like that. And one, I already felt bad because John Bradley is like an adorable bean. Even though he's like 30, I'm still calling him an adorable bean because he is. He is. Like, you just want to pinch his cheeks. What? Anyway.
Your gay uncle is showing.
Anyway.
I'm sorry, Unty, U-N-T-Y. Go on.
We're gonna fight. I'm trying to get this out. Anyway, I'm wasting these goddamn people's time.
I did not subscribe.
Please get that away from me. I did not subscribe to that bullshit. Please.
All right, go on.
Anyway, so he was on Conan after the Game of Thrones rap party, and Conan was actually talking about how John Bradley had given this, heartfelt speech about how the Game of Thrones producers found him, and he was exactly what they were looking for. And that was one of the first times he felt like really accepted, despite what he saw as his physical flaws.
Right.
So, God, we need can we just start doing this with an audience or something and be like, so we'd like to hear what everybody's thoughts are. Actually,
Oh, boy.
hey guys, gals, and non-binary pals, we'd like you, if you have any thoughts or inputs on anything that we do for our mental health section, shoot us an email. Shoot us a note to our page. Shoot us a note to our Instagram page.
Send us a voice clip.
Exactly.
Or a couple of voice clips.
Exactly. Any of these would be fantastic. It would add something, because I want to, it's not just us, because we're all in this mental health fight together. But...
What in the home improvement was that? That what in the Tim Allen? What in the basic ass sitcom was that?
Before I before we keep going off on the sidebars, my last sidebar before we get back to the subject at hand, I found a new source of employment, and it is doing wonders for my mental health.
Yeah.
Which I don't
Kate
know,
came in here milling and popping.
severely. And yours don't tar.
We did it at the same time. We love synergy. Go on.
But yeah, that the new job is really helping with my mental health, and I could not be happier. Anyway, but him talking about that, and he actually, I don't know if you were paying attention during the video,
I
but
was to an extent.
you could tell that he got a little choked up talking about it because it wasn't, it wasn't the actual clip of what he was saying at the rap party.
He was sort of like he was recapping what he said while also going into like a tangent about what he said, which is it's weird, oddly explained, but it makes sense for what he was doing.
We'll put a link to it in the description so you can see the video that we're talking about. But I don't know. It was interesting hearing somebody else kind of talk about how they dealt with like body image issues.
Yeah.
Because me personally, I think John Bradley's really attractive.
He's a cutie patootie.
But at the same time, I've been told, and I swear this is not me tooting my own horn or trying to talk myself up or anything. A lot of people tell me I'm super attractive, and I'm just like, I mean, I pop severely from time to time, I guess, but.
All right, so let me stop him from lying right now. He's one of like the most attractive people in Illinois.
Bitch.
I don't know why he's fronting.
Bitch.
Acting like he isn't that bitch. All the time.
Oh no, I can be that bitch and still be an ugly
all
bitch.
the time.
What?
God damn it.
What? I can still be that bitch and show up with the lace showing and the lashes halfway on the wrong way.
Come on, Tiffany Pollard.
You leave New York the fuck alone. She is iconic.
True, but so are her Batman eyelashes.
Anyway, so what did you think about
looking
the
like
video?
JetBlue? What? Sorry, what were you saying? Oh, what I think. What I think about what he said, or
yeah, what he said, how he was reacting to what he said.
I feel that to like an extreme, because that's a thing. That's like a weird tension of social media that I wouldn't say weird. It's a part of social media that I'm into is like all the big guys are sort of like finding themselves and like finding their own positivity in themselves to love themselves.
Hashtag thickening.
You know, I've used that as a hashtag a couple times.
But spelled
thickening.
THICCENING.
Oh, I've done both, like regular thick and then like thick.
Thick.
Thick. What?
I'm going home. Anyway, so this is.
But yeah, I can relate to feeling as an outcast solely because you're not fit. You're just not fit, quote unquote. You're not. Fitness doesn't always equate to attractiveness, in my honest opinion. But that is a thing that's both overtly and subliminally injected into the way in stuff that we watch as kids, stuff that we watch as adults, stuff marketing, all kind of stuff, fit, chiseled chin, all that shit.
Meanwhile, I'm over here like I want to look like Eddie Hall did before he lost the gut.
Who's Eddie Hall again?
You carry on with your point. I'll pull up a picture of Eddie Hall.
Just so you guys know, Kay is like literally one of the thirstiest people I know. So,
if I'm not looking, bury me, I'm dead.
What was my point? I don't even remember now. Yes, I do the cleaning.
That's Eddie Hall.
Is that with or without the gut?
That's without the gut.
Oh, okay, what's with the gut? Because he looks weird.
Yeah, he does look weird without the gut.
Yeah, it looks weird to me. I've never even seen him before.
Come on. Okay, there's like a side by side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A fine ass man with a gut.
Just perfect for cuddling. Just like wrapping your arms around and just. Anyway, let me stop.
Oh, come on, bear fetish.
Okay, first of all, bitch. Excuse you. Putting my damn business out there.
I want to apologize, but
first of all, you. Yes, I have a weakness for guts and beards, but that's not a requirement.
And yes, you do the cleaning. All right.
Anyway,
So, well, I don't remember what my point was earlier.
well then let me jump on one. Anyway, so it's an interesting foil, I guess, to what a lot of my experiences are,
Mm-hmm.
because I try to keep a fairly high opinion of myself, and
It's hard out here, though. It's not easy.
yeah, especially because being both black and queer, and sorry, black, fat, and queer,
Hello?
and
You are literally like bottom of the barrel in the basic gay community.
pretty much because I don't look androgynous even remotely. I'm not skinny. I'm very brown.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I can pass as Caucasian influenced or whatever, but
if you get a haircut and put on a ball cap and you just drove by somebody,
I do that Miles J thing with the lips though. Then I'll pass as white.
no,
I'm Jessica.
that's just
No, I'll tell you right to your face. I don't like black people.
Jesus, stop.
Miles J is literally a legend for that fucking shady ass video.
Oh, because
that was to Jeffree Star.
Uh-huh.
That was to whatever that one bitch who can't cry is. What's the other one? The slutty looking one, James Charles.
He is a smooth, like 17 years old. Leave him alone.
I thought he was like no. That's the other one.
Oh,
That's
well, anyway, we're getting sad.
I'm sorry. Just anyway, but yeah, like when you're black, you automatically know. Just not catered to and not cared about.
Because
in the basic gay community. Not
many-
all of it.
So many profiles and stuff that I see on all these apps, be it hookup or dating, where it's just like, I'm just really into white and Latino guys. I'm sorry. That's just
So
a problem.
here's my thing with that, real quick. If you say you're into a certain race and that's all you say, that's a little different for me. I don't know, because that is not inherently.
See, here's the thing, though, is that I have yet to come across somebody who says that and casually forgot to put the only in front of it.
I've
The
seen
only,
I've seen a couple. I've seen quite a
only-
few actually.
only into white or Latino.
I've seen a lot of the onlys, but I mean, like, there are people who are like, I'm into this race and this race, but they don't discriminate. Like, that's a little different. But there are people who put the onlys in, and it's like, oh, well,
Oh, would you look at that?
what are you trying to say?
That you didn't mute your phone.
It was on vibrate. Fuck.
Mine is on mute.
It didn't pick up. So anyway,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, if you're black, already looked down upon. If you're chubby, even worse. And if you don't fit into either, if you're big and black, you don't fit into that masculine category.
Into that hood nigga trade category.
Yeah, fuck, fuck that shit. There are people who are solely into that, and it's like,
See, the thing is, you catch me at the gym, and I just finished lifting something heavy. Yeah, I'm gonna pretty much be in trade mode.
it's so boring.
The thing is, though, I am one of those people that has multiple modes. Catch me in the gym lifting a bunch of heavy shit, voice is down in the lower register. I'm lifting heavy shit. I'm all sweaty and ready to lift more and stuff like that.
Case Super Saiyan shouts when he lifts things, by the way. Go on.
Uh-huh. And meanwhile...
That's like, you literally sound like a Street Fighter character. You sound like Akuma.
Anyway.
I didn't say Vega. Vega?
Bitch! Oh, wait,
I know what you're talking about. We can talk about it later.
Nerd section. Anyway, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm one of those people that I'll be, trade mode at the gym, but take me to a drag queen show and I'll just be like, yes!
I can't relate because I don't fit into either of those.
I mean, I don't either, but at the same time...
I'm like on a weird line in that skirts into either one of those.
Yeah, that's the thing, though, is that you may want to try to be in some of those spaces, but me being a very large, very black, very bearded individual trying to insert myself into queer spaces that are typically skinny, white, androgynous, and clean-shaven.
Yeah, can we... San Francisco, listen. We literally have to have our own clubs just to be featured on, like, some club flyers or posters and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Any other club, oh no, they're skinny, they Twinkie, they're Armand Rizzo.
Ugh.
No shade. Because Armand Rizzo is that bitch representing Aurora, Illinois. But I'll show you who that is later. But Let's turn into a Wendy Williams video in a
Don't stop. Jesus, you know what?
So what I was gonna bring up, not only that. So he also talked about acceptance, like finding love for himself, and being able to love himself. And I also mentioned before in realms of social media that you can there are people that use that to find it. However, there are people who mistake fucking love of self versus love of other people in place of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they treat they take the attention they get from the people that fetishize big folks and replace that for, well, I'm attractive, I guess. So you get what I'm saying? Like, they use that as kind of like they don't love them. Like,
it's monodimensional.
Yes, and there's a lot of that, and
you're finding your own.
I almost fell into that. I almost fell into that horrible place.
Where you're like finding your only value in your attractiveness to other people.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh, read me.
Like,
because I definitely fell into that at a couple years before we met.
Like, that's a real bad place to be, to depend on. Like, because that can easily go away. Like, because people in that state only really care about your looks. Let you say something that they don't agree with. Let you say something like mildly controversial. Especially in the bear community that's whitewashed as fuck, just like the regular gays are. Mm-hmm. Say something pro-black. Say something anti-white
centering.
Yeah. And then you'll... Deuces.
Not wanting to... let me not name names.
We're
going to move on because I'm not going to name names.
At least not while we're on air. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I figured.
I was going to say, I just finger spelled it for Vesta.
Okay.
Y'all don't get to know.
It's very true because there are a lot of people that do that.
Yeah.
And
if you notice, all of who I'm talking about, all of his playthings are very, very white.
All of them. Every last one.
Every time.
And when they're not, he makes a big deal out of it. Like, it's got to be a big thing. Like, look, a blackie. Ugh. I know it makes me cringe to say it, but it's how we're looked at.
Yeah.
But it took me a long time to find that for myself, like love of myself from myself.
I'm still working on it. To be honest.
There are some days where I get up and I'm like, "Who that?" Damn.
Sam said it.
And then there are other times it's like, I hate myself. I go back and forth all the time.
Same.
But I've come to accept. Shout out to my homeboy Joe. Leave the last name out. Shout out to Joe, who has gone through like an insane weight loss, like 200 pounds. I have to show you a before and after picture.
Oh wow. Can we pick a different adjective though? A blank weight loss?
Why?
There's some notes of ableism in using insane like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Impressive.
Dope ass.
Works for me.
Dope ass weight loss.
I'm working on trying to like realizing that there's a lot of ableism in my common, vernacular, which, little heads up that there's probably going to be a shit ton of it later on because, I've got a rant for you.
But, he sat me down and told me, yeah, you're going to have some days, even when you're making progress, that will deter you from making further progress. And when you come to terms with accepting the fact that you will have good and bad days, and the good days can be really good and the bad days can be really bad, when you come to terms with that, it makes it easier to deal with. Mm-hmm. And as far as that regard.
That sounds like trying to internalize the concept of this too shall pass.
I don't know.
To a point.
But I mean, sometimes with that aspect of like loving yourself, as far as what we're talking about, size and not fitting into roles and whatever the fuck, I feel like it counts though.
Yeah. I was going to say,
in that aspect.
I'm not taking away from the point, but
it doesn't fit for every aspect. Sometimes you need to do some shit to fix that. But Yeah, he told me that, and I was like, yeah. I've learned that lesson a while ago, that I'm gonna have days where I'm like, I'm a bad bitch, to where I'm like,
I'm a bad
that's
bitch. You can't kill me.
Yeah, I'm a bad. And then the other days where it's like, ooh, going back to bed.
Well, or in my case, because having to get up early-ish for a job.
Yeah.
Well, let's get this bread, I guess.
Yeah.
And avoid mirrors as much as possible. Especially that second point.
Yeah. This is a very superficial idea, but I had to avoid the mirrors at work the past few days because if you guys personally know me, I don't know if you do or not, I have to pick my hair out.
And Vesta is notorious for losing all of his goddamn picks every time.
Do you remember? I remember, I think I was leaving your place. You remember I was like, I lost it. You know where it is? At Ace's house.
Wow.
And then I left the last long one I bought when we went to buy some in my coworker's car when he picked me up to take me to work. So I bought like 10 more.
When a 12 by 12 box from Amazon just full of pics
shows
up on your doorstep.
I already did.
Did I stutter?
Oh my god.
When a 12 by 12 thing of Afro pics from Amazon, just a box chock full of them, a whole retail pack of them. And watch 2 months later, be like, okay.
Which I broke one of them already. I'll explain later.
Clearly the gods of leave-in moisturizer were not with you that day. Anyway, we're getting really sidetracked. But long story short, you a bad bitch.
Love yourself, even on the bad days. Do your best.
Yeah. And don't fall into that RuPaul bullshit of if you don't love yourself, because some days you don't.
Yeah. Which I've fallen out of. I used to say that sometimes. Like, if you don't love you, who's gonna love you? Kind of bullshit.
Yeah, because that's.
And I've fallen out of that because.
Thankfully, because other than RuPaul being.
I used to say that a lot, but nowadays it's like, but sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
Then what?
Exactly. But anyway, do we want to move on to our next?
To the next break.
To the next. All right, so we are actually going to do something a little different for our next musical break. Vesta, if you'd like to be so kind as to clue our listeners in.
I have an album coming out. It's called Love Notes. I don't really know how to describe it other than it goes from like lo-fi to, well, it's a mix of lo-fi and like modern day-ish or rappy beatsy beats. Beat boobs. It's called Under the Moonlight. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, so the clip is going to be relatively short, but
the subject matter I'll go into very lightly. BuzzFeed a long time ago came out with this video. I hate to bring them up because BuzzFeed gets on my nerves sometimes, and by some sense I mean constantly. But they made this horrible video that I didn't expect to end the way it did, where it's like talking about these two guys who like meet and click and hook up. And they become fuck buddies, and that's all it is. And that's it. No strings attached. But one of them starts to fall for the other.
Ugh.
And then it's like
bitch.
And then it deals with him like internal monologuing, like, what am I doing? Should I tell him? Yada yada. So one day after they meet up and fool around, he does, and the guy leaves and doesn't come back. And that's how the video ends.
Yeah,
so
right after I moved back up here, I dealt with that and had a lot of self-worth issues for a while.
Like that video killed me because I haven't dealt with that in a long time. But having that situation unfold is one you don't really forget.
That situation happened to me when I was like in the deepest depths of only finding self-worth in how good of a fuck I was or how good of a partner I could have been. And so for that guy to ghost me right after for the same thing just fucked me up for a while.
Yeah, because he was like, what did I do? I thought I was doing it right.
Oh, yeah.
All kind of shit. So with that backstory, here is Under the Moonlight.
Under the Moonlight.
Under the moonlight, you've never looked so good. Under the stars, you've never felt so right. When I'm with you, everything everything is wonderful. Wonderful. Until it's over. Tell me, please tell me you love me, baby. I'll be your only one until the morning sun. Tell me you love me, baby. Tell me, please tell me you love me, baby. I'll be your only one until the morning sun. Tell me you love me, baby. Under the moonlight, you left me to sleep alone. Should I have said the words I said last night? I know I'm not wrong for wanting more than this. But if you come and stay with me, I'll never say it again. Tell me, please tell me you love me, baby. Tell me you love me, baby. I'll be your only one until the morning sun. Tell me you love me, tell me you love me, baby. Tell me, please tell me you love me, baby. I'll be your only one until the morning sun. Tell me you love me, baby.
So I suppose that I'm going to be doing the rest of this podcast as if I were...
John McLean.
Yeah. Yeah, Vesta just decided to show me...
Someone would ask me, what do you identify as?
Excuse you. If you're going... You should allow me to do that.
Okay, fine, whatever.
A lot of people ask me, how do you identify? And...
How do you say God?
How do you say God without sounding arrogant?
We'll be selling t-shirts. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We'll be making 2 of our own.
Yeah. Because how do you cloth a god without burning in the presence? Anyway, yeah, Vesta just showed me somebody who I'm going to be following on the socials as soon as possible.
Motherfucking McLean.
Anyway.
McLean. I don't know how to say his last name. But I'm kicking off the nerd culture section today, BB.
Oh, boy.
Disney Plus. Disney streaming service.
It's Disney Hulu. Disney
It's
Netflix.
$7.
Oh, that's it?
$7, bitch.
That's probably the base rate, though. You probably have to pay like $2 more for HD or something like Netflix.
I don't give a fuck. It's SD as fuck. I got a smart TV. I don't care. Excuse you, television. No one asked you.
I think she was offended.
It's the standard definition. She can never.
She doesn't have the range.
She doesn't have the range.
She doesn't have the range.
$6.99. 50,000 plus episodes of all the old original movies and the TV shows that used to air. So that's So Raven, Up, Up and Away, 13th Year, all the Xenons, even the shitty one.
Ooh, a Goofy movie?
Yeah, that's gonna be all their movies are gonna be
bitch.
on. All like the not Disney Channel movies are
So
gonna be
I'm
on
coming over and we're watching a Goofy movie.
Oh, started singing the second one.
No,
but yeah, the first one.
We gotta
have a Powerline
Can
concert.
we listen to each other's hearts?
Prince's protege. Go off, Tevin Campbell. But yeah, all the Disney like commercial movies, like the theatrical ones.
Get My Life to the classic Kim Possible.
Yeah, Kim Possible's about to be on there, even the new one.
Because New Girl Could Never.
a new one.
I'm sorry, Christy Carlson Romano and Will Friedle made that show iconic, and then Christina Milian, snatched everybody's wigs with the theme song. And anytime Kim Possible was
We
on,
love auto-tune. Go on.
bitch.
I'm sorry. I don't like Christina Milian like that. I don't.
I mean, her voice likes to dip it low, but
She was, what's her name in Rocky Horror?
who?
What is her?
I don't recognize that new one. I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah,
I
mean,
can't.
But who is that? What's her name?
Magenta?
Yeah, she played Magenta. Yeah, and she didn't do good.
Nigga, what?
Yeah, she was Magenta.
She was Magenta.
Oh, she did so bad.
Ew.
She did so bad.
Ew.
The only good part of that, fucking train wreck was the bookends, because they took what they did in the old Broadway musical, because it used to be a concession girl singing science fiction double feature that would walk through the audience and like actually give out candy and shit, and they brought that back for the remake
for that train
yeah
wreck.
And had it, I don't know who she is, but I gotta show you a clip because she slayed. She ate that up.
Yeah.
Ate
And like,
that up.
here's the thing. I love Laverne Cox. I did not like that part.
Oh, yeah, Laverne, we love you so much, but we don't love that. None of those lace fronts were undetectable.
Leave her and her wigs alone.
Anyway, back to Disney Plus. All the every single Marvel movie,
Because
MCU movie is gonna be there.
Because Disney owns her.
Yeah. All the Star Wars movies.
Because Disney owns her too.
And The Simpsons.
Oh yeah, because didn't Disney just buy Fox?
Yeah, they own Fox now. What?
So that means Anastasia's officially a Disney princess.
About fucking time. I mean, technically she was.
No, she wasn't.
Disney just distributed Anastasia for a while, so.
But it was still a Fox movie. Like nobody knew. I didn't even know that
Let
Disney
my
distributed.
7-year-old gay ass dream for 2 seconds. All right. God. Anyway. Also, they're working on exclusive TV shows and movies specifically for. Stop singing Once Upon a December. Wait.
Excuse you, autrefois en décembre. Parce que c'est la version en français.
Okay, yeah, whatever. I can't speak French.
Des images me reviennent comme un souffle.
Alright, so back to what I was saying.
I'm going home.
God damn it. But yeah, they're working on exclusives for Disney Plus. Loki's getting his own show.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Scarlet Witch and Vision are getting their own show. Guess what the show's called? Don't look. WandaVision. No. That's such a lazy name.
WandaVision?
WandaVision. It's been confirmed at the convention, Disney big.
You've got to be kidding me. They have all this They have more money than God, and yet they can't come up with a better name than WandaVision.
Sounds like a 60s death trap. Hawkeye's getting his own show. Falcon and Bucky, the Winter Soldier, are getting their own show called Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Love, Simon is getting its own show on Disney Plus, and so is The Sandlot, supposedly. I'm trying to remember what else. Shout out to the Diz Insider on Instagram for all of this fucking live ass coverage, and
all the
they post like suspected news and it usually ends up coming true or whatever. But give me like 2 seconds. Could you play me some like hold music? I was gonna say, hum me some hold music or something.
I can't come up with anything that's not fucking
All
copyrighted
right,
or anything.
So Star Wars is getting its own show called The Mandalorian.
Ooh, so that's gonna follow Boba Fett and the like.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm about tired of Boba Fett.
What about Django?
Django could fuck. Django could get it.
They're the same person.
Yeah, well, that wasn't confirmed to the prequels, so Django could fuck. Let's see.
So then technically so could Boba. Boba's literally a clone of Django.
So anyway, Yeah, over 50,000 episodes of Disney Channel originals. Um, Scarlet Witch and Vision officially titled WandaVision. Mm-hmm.
I just no.
No. There's a Disney. They're making a holiday film called Noel just in time for the launch of the platform, starring Anna Kendrick, which
Okay,
sounds promising.
I'm vaguely intrigued
All
because
the Pixar films are going to be on Disney Plus.
including the shorts.
Every single one.
Bitch, did you watch Bow yet?
Oh yeah, about. I was trauma. Me and Kai were traumatized. We got this because it came before Incredibles 2,
Which was amazing.
legendary. But we saw that, and I was traumatized when she.
Spoilers.
I can't because I'm reliving the trauma. In my head right now.
Sidebar: can we talk about the fact that Mrs. Incredible is built like an Instagram model? Or sorry, Instagram models are trying to be built like Mrs. Incredible.
Oh,
And that's that on that.
let's see. There's going to be a Monsters Inc. TV show with all the original voice cast called Monsters at Work. So I think it's just going to be like I'm trying to think of what style of show that would be because I know what they're trying. It's almost going to be. I feel like it's going to be like The Office or something.
Bitch, tell me, get out of my head. I was just thinking that.
Where like it's like a day in the life of like at the workplace. Nothing. There's no real conflicts.
Are there any? I'm wondering if there's going to be like confessionals with like Mike or Sully or
That would
Randall.
be
or,
the shit.
Or what's her
that
name?
would be the shit. I would watch the hell out of that show. Let's see if there's any other
with
news.
Roz just sturgeon facing into the camera whenever she shows up.
Let's see. Any other Disney Plus news? No, nothing at all.
I don't know. I can't come up with music like that. That's more your shtick.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's about it.
That's definitely the intro to something else.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
That's definitely the intro to Wings by Little Mix.
So who?
Don't.
You mean Belegda? Belegda and the girl. Shit. Oh my god. Okay. Alright.
Okay, so we clearly need to link that video in the description so they can know what we're laughing at.
Man. Anybody who watches memes and vines knows what Belegda is.
Oh my god.
Belegda.
Got me over here crying and shit. Goddamn. Oh my god.
Okay, Forky from Toy Story 4 is also getting his own show. That's a character in the new Toy Story.
Oh.
Apparently, people are joking that he's suicidal or something. I don't know. I don't know what that's about.
What is this? Crying breakfast foods?
That's what I
real
thought.
life?
Yeah. Anything else? Anything else Disney before I hop off that? Oh, I need to show you this because you're probably gonna like squeal about it.
Oh my god.
First, look at the Lady and the Tramp movie.
Oh boy.
Which,
to their credit, the dogs look spot on.
oh, they got the right breed of dogs. That's what I was scared
Especially for Lady.
of. Oh yeah.
I mean,
so
Tramp is
cute.
supposed to be a vaguely schnauzer adjacent mutt, I think.
She's supposed to be a mouse, so they can find any dog for Tramp. Bunch of new posters for Endgame got released.
Did they actually like title Denai Guerrera yet?
These are like the basic ones where they didn't title anybody. But the top, man.
I'm still side-eyeing the fact that they didn't.
A lot of people are hinting that, okay, so for this poster, it's got all the living Avengers, including Captain Marvel, in the foreground. In the background, you see all the fallen Avengers, including Shuri, which gets on my last nerve.
I don't believe it. I refuse.
So they're all up in the air and they're transparent. Thanos is there too, though. So people are hinting that he's going to get sucked into the Soul Stone of the Infinity Gauntlet.
I don't care. Shuri's alive. She's fine. She's flourishing in Wakanda.
The Spirit Halloween version of Aladdin got new posters.
You are not wrong.
And Star Wars, that trailer. Haven't watched it yet,
Neither have I.
so we'll talk about that later.
Oh, yeah, because we still got a bunch to talk about.
Anything else new that I heard about? I don't think so. Now let's talk about Dumbo.
Oh boy,
It was actually really fucking good.
really?
It was really good.
I've heard it panned.
Whatever. Critics are just expecting the old one probably. But here's my thing. People are now at this point, I understand the hatred for the reboot saga of Disney right now. Because that's what this is. It needs to end pretty soon. But what I like is when they take an old story and do something completely different.
Oh,
That's exactly what they did with this.
I was gonna say because I don't remember much about Dumbo because the last time
They
I
got
watched
rid of the racist ass Jim Crows. They're gone. They make a reference to their song. I don't know if you've ever heard the song, right? I've seen a pig fly, I've even seen a dragonfly, but I never seen an elephant fly. That song.
I literally,
one of
literally the last time I watched the original movie was in French in grade school.
good.
A
I watched it
crisp-
once and I fell asleep.
A crisp 17, 18 years ago.
But the original, like, it starts off very similar to the original. But one key difference, which is spoilers for people who haven't seen the original Dumbo. Dumbo doesn't fly until the very end of the movie. It's the last scene of the movie when he starts flying. In this one, it is made very clear within the first like 15 minutes, maybe even 10, that he flies, and everybody knows it. That's the one key difference that changes this movie and makes it interesting. Because then it turns from, oh, maybe this elephant can fly, maybe he can't, to, okay, this elephant can fly. How is he going to survive being paraded around as a circus attraction?
Interesting.
And then it's with his original family. And they change a lot of different things. It follows some of the same beats where like his mother goes ape shit in the circus, trying to have you ever seen a crowd going ape shit in the circus?
You need to get the fuck out of my head.
I saw your face. I saw it coming. And then she gets locked away and sent off as a mad elephant, and Dumbo gets left behind, and that's where Baby Mine, the tear-jerking ass song that they use again in this movie, it actually made me cry. The original always made me cry as a kid, and
I mean, something blue.
Shut up! I'm crying right now.
I
Because
rest
it
my
literally
case.
hurts my soul to listen to that song. Knowing that in the original he never sees his mother again. And so that's another conflict they add that Tim Burton fucking stand for you racist ass trick. Actually did something right by adding multiple layers of conflict that all weave in together in this movie. Dumbo's trying to constantly look for his mother. The original circus gets bought out by a bigger circus. Almost feels like Tim Burton was taking shots at Disney because a bigger, higher tech, more funded circus bought out the smaller circus and then took the best part and left the rest behind. I feel like that was mad shade to Disney, and if that was, I don't know who greenlit it, but I caught that. And the main ringleader of that circus, the bigger circus, was played by, I believe, Michael Keaton. He was the Vulture in Spider-Man, right? In Homecoming? Is that Michael Keaton?
I haven't seen Homecoming.
Damn it.
I'm actually no. But I do remember the trailer. I'm like 99.9 infinity% sure that Michael Keaton did play Vulture in Homecoming.
Yes. Okay, so he also is the ringleader of the. He's actually one of the main bad guys of this movie. And it's funny that the Batman and the Penguin had reunited because Danny DeVito was the ringleader of the small circus, and Michael Keaton was the ringleader. But it's also interesting because Tim Burton directed that Batman, so he did that on purpose.
Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset. I don't know.
Hey, Wizard Fiddler.
Actually, no, I'm thinking of the completely wrong song.
What else? The kid actors had some moments where they were really like dull, but
I mean, kids are gonna be kids.
But they did really good for what they were having to work with. There's a trapeze artist who she's like one of the baddest bitches in that movie. Bearded lady, not a bearded lady. I don't remember what she was supposed to be. She's like a mermaid or something in the circus. It was like real low budget sideshow acts. She was hilarious. and she ends up singing Baby Mine in the movie, like they're just singing around the campfire, while Dumbo goes up and tries to reach out to his mom for the last time.
And that's how the song.
And that's how the song gets played. Yeah,
And I'm
it's
sure
really
you
smart.
You were just like,
When I heard the guitar start playing, because we're all sitting around a campfire, and I was like, "Don't do this." She kind of looked at me. My sister. She looked at me like, "God fucking damn it!" I didn't mean to say my real name again, but thankfully it's bleeped.
oh, Vesta.
Post credits me, please. Post production me, please go back and bleep that out because I fucked up. What was I saying? Oh yeah, because when she started playing it and singing, I started crying. It was a very short scene, but another twist they pulled up was he gets to the main circus and there's like this big area. This is dark like island of weird creatures. They just basically painted a bunch of like wild animals, alligator, tiger, wolf, and put them under black light to make them look more scary or something. It was like a really fucked up scene. And then at one point, all the animals are panicking because Dumbo's broken out, and so did all the animals in the circus. And then you hear an elephant blow its horn, and then Dumbo immediately takes off flying. And like, where is he going? Then they all run and follow him. He goes inside. He sits in front of the cage, and then out of the dark comes an elephant that's completely made up in all this bullshitty tribal garb. And then the little girl goes, "That's his mother." So he actually finds his mother in this one. And then that conflict turns into now they need to get out.
Oh, so they really redid this.
No, they did. Yeah, they did all kind of shit.
Okay, sidebar.
So
I'm hoping they don't with Lion King. To a point. Like
I was going to talk about that.
There are certain things that need to happen in that movie because when Mufasa dies, I fully expect to be a sobbing mess in the theater, just like I was when I was like 4 or 5 when the original came out.
True. Scar looked like a whole decrepit.
Scar looked like somebody tried to put a
Well,
lion.
here's the thing.
Scar looks like somebody tried to put a lion on a vegan diet.
True. But I will admit, because of the animation, we don't really realize that that's actually what he was supposed to look like anyway. Because Scar was a very malnourished looking lion. Lions don't have cheekbones like Scar did. It's just the way he animated, he was just on fleek as fuck 24/7.
I mean, did you check that eyeliner? Bitch, check that contour.
And the way he started his song. I'm like, come on. Come on, Franken.
Powers of retention.
I'm like, come on, Frankenfurter.
Or as warthog's backside.
Yeah. I'm like,
What
come on, Queen.
thick as you are. Pay attention.
That was a whole drag performance he was preparing his life for.
My words.
But I'm not. I wonder if they're gonna bring in the original backstory for the Lion King between Mufasa and Scar, because in the books
there were books. Bitch.
Yeah, and they only adapted part of it.
What? I thought they were just like here. Let's do Hamlet, but with animals. Or let's do Kimba from Japan. But
hello.
Let's just do Kimba the White Lion in Japan. Just in the United States.
But no, like it goes into Mufasa and Scar's childhood, which makes Scar a much more relatable villain.
Ooh, and
his name, I forget his name
Taka.
because and I forget what it meant.
It's trash.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you. You remember? You didn't know there was a book, but you remembered that. Bitch, what the fuck? Okay. But yeah, I wonder if they're gonna bring that up. Could you imagine if, like, really angrily, in the middle of a conversation, Mufasa calls him Taka?
Ooh.
That'd be cool if they just brought that in for a second.
This isn't the thing. We're supposed to be focusing on
Taka. And then they just...
And silence.
And they don't explain it, but if people who know the original... That'd be cool if they did that. I'm also expecting Simba. Beyonce!
Bitch, I saw this fucking thing where it was like original version. Can you feel the love? And then it's the live action version. It's like,
let me sit this ass on you. Show you how I feel. Okay.
God. How are we gonna survive Nala with a Texan accent, though?
I mean, Beyonce's done some voice acting before. Wasn't good. But she did it before. I'll show you.
I was gonna
Beyonce's not really good at talking.
I know. Like, don't get me wrong.
I'll
I
show
love
you the clip
I-
of the movie she voice acted in before. I think it was a Tinkerbell movie.
Oh.
No, it was a fairy movie. I don't know if it was Tinkerbell though.
Oh, I was gonna say because like I know I saw her in Goldmember, and I'm just like,
See, that was actually funny.
that was funny.
That was hilarious.
But at
She
the
was
same time,
in Pink Panther, she was hilarious.
she was in Pink Panther.
Yeah,
I don't follow Beyonce's acting career.
Yeah, she was in this.
Except for acting like
she
she
was in
actually
this-
cares what these people think.
She was in the Steve Martin Pink Panther, where she played a boss ass bitch who was smart as hell.
So herself.
Yeah,
Because
but she done played everybody in that movie. No spoilers, because that movie is actually really good.
I was gonna say she's not the best talker, but with the way
In that movie, she
structured
was hilarious. Like the facial expressions. But you go ahead into. Is there anything else that I would need to bring up? Pink elephants in Dumbo. I don't know if you know about the pink elephants.
stuff, I vaguely remember the pink
Where they got
elephants.
drunk?
Yeah.
Oh, also the mice. That's another thing they got rid of. There are no talking animals in this movie. Zero. They don't.
Not
talk.
even Dumbo?
Not even Dumbo. Dumbo never talked in the original.
He didn't?
No, I don't think he did. No, he didn't. It was just the crow and the mice. His mother didn't even talk, I don't think.
Except for the song.
Oh, yes, she did. Yes, she did. But Dumbo never talked because he was basically a baby. So it makes sense that he didn't. But in this one, no animals talk, period. The humans, the new human characters they put in, talk for them. Like, they bring the story along that the animals originally
They're the
did.
Greek chorus.
Yeah, basically. They do make reference to the crows and the fact that when he got the crow feather, he flew. That's the device in this. Anytime he inhales a feather with his nose, he starts flying. It's never truly explained. I think it's like a weird.
It's a MacGuffin.
Yeah, whatever. But anytime he inhales a feather, they make him fly. And the one time he needs to fly to save everyone, it's a black feather, like the crows.
Interesting.
The mouse that's with him is in the movie, but he's in like 3 scenes, and he's with a bunch of other mice. But you know it's him. And the pink elephants are in it, but they're in the Disneyland circus, where it's like a bunch of women. Circus performers start blowing bubbles, and they start like the big bubble art with like the huge wands and stuff. But then they start turning into pink elephants when Dumbo's watching. And they do a bunch of weird, like, psychedelic morphing shit with all the music playing in the background.
Interesting.
I really liked that, because I was not ready for another acid trip like that original one was.
That original was a little nightmare fuel.
Yeah. But 4 out of 5 big-ass
Elephant ears.
Jay-Z ears.
You leave him alone.
Oh, because of his song. Story of OJ.
Oh.
You know I could have bought Dumbo before it was Dumbo?
Mm.
I hate that I had to explain that, but whatever.
Anyway.
Uncultured slang. Anyway, go on.
I don't have title.
Bitch, I can
Anyway.
just...
Shh. No, you can't.
That's fair. Okay.
Anyway, so I don't know if anybody was watching anybody who's friends with me on Facebook watched that I mentioned this, but during my morning commute to my new job,
I'm gonna make that coin.
secure the bag.
All I want to do is bang, 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 and a click, ka-ching, and tea, your money.
Anyway, so and I deeply and formally apologize for how much I'm probably going to be butchering a lot of these pronunciations, but I will do my best.
Okay.
So, I posted on my Facebook a little recently that I was going to, on my commute, listen to the album by Jeremy Dutcher called Wolastoqiyik, Lintuwakonawa. And
Go ahead. That was good.
I'm pretty sure I butchered the last one, or the second word.
It was similar to how he pronounced it. We got it in the spirit. Yeah.
Anyway, so it's his debut album. He is a First Nations tenor out of Canada, though I couldn't find where. I want to say somewhere west, but I could be wrong. Anyway, the album won the Polaris Prize in 2018, and Best Indigenous Album, which I couldn't help but think of Prince. Best Indigenous Album at the 2019 Juno Awards. Sidebar, for those who don't know what I'm talking about when I'm referencing Prince for this, he won for, I think, When Doves Cry, as some other country gave him Best Black Song as an award, and he literally just clicked his way up to the mic and was just like, thank you very much. and then left and handed the award to his bodyguard or somebody.
That was with the blue diamondy looking cloak he had on, right?
That was a half cloak. It was only on his right shoulder.
Just
iconic. Anyway,
I want it so bad.
so it's a fairly short album at 45-ish minutes, but oh my god, the music is amazing. Dutcher's voice is phenomenal. I mean, he is a classically trained operatic tenor, and it shows in every ounce of the vibrato that he uses. I hate that I don't understand a word of Wolastoqiyik, which is the indigenous language he's singing in. But it started off as him, finding and listening to these wax cylinder recordings of basically his ancestors singing, talking, living, loving, laughing, etc.
The aesthetic of that album, so nice. So much.
But
It's almost like lo-fi, but I shouldn't be shady. But I say that because
you make lo-fi sometimes.
That too. But I say that because there is a level of there's so much more emotion. Like there's a deeper level of it in this than there is in lo-fi. Lo-fi is very, but that's also the point of lo-fi. Lo-fi is a very high school kid kind of
it's
dreamy,
good it's good for background stuff.
Right. Though. It's that kind of aesthetic, but with him, it's like
it demands
there is love in here.
It demands to be heard. It demands to be felt.
There's like deep shit in this, and it's just in every note is in there.
Yeah,
I love it so
especially
much.
I was actually going to mention this. His tenor voice, layering harmonies worthy of fucking Destiny's Child, specifically on a song called "Koso Wintuwakonawa," which again, I apologize if I'm brutalizing it. I'm sorry.
Listen, that harmony.
Yeah, those harmonies, like because I'm judging you so hard for that right now.
What?
Anyway.
Thank you, Charlie.
Anyway, those harmonies are amazing. While I was actually working on the final touches for this outline for the show, I actually played through the album for Vesta here, and went from kind of casually listening.
I was falling backward because my wig was being pulled off my head.
Like that one gif of Miles J that I have saved.
Because these girls will snatch the wig right off your head.
Snatch.
Oh.
As you smack the desk.
Fuck.
Anyway, my personal favorite is a song called Pomaknaka Poktoinisquis, which sounds like it's in 3 movements. The first one, focuses mostly on Dutcher's voice with minimal instrumentation behind it. The second movement is a lot more instrumentation with some soprano work by, I think that's Teya Kasahara, doing the soprano work, which the second movement is a little creepy. And then the third movement, it just keeps repeating itself again and again and building as the song keeps repeating again and getting stronger and louder, and there's more of an edge to Dutcher's voice, and I just wish I understood what he was singing.
It's so good.
It really is. I cannot recommend this album enough. Even if you don't understand the language, you
don't have to.
Music has a way of conveying emotion that surpasses the language. What are the rest of my notes? Actually, in doing a little bit of research for talking about this album, because I listened through it a couple times, but listening through it does not necessarily a good critique make. He spent a chunk of time on this video that we found of him kind of talking about the album. He just spent a bunch of time just walking the streets of his hometown, listening to the album, and talking about how Canada, which by the way ain't shit, despite what people portray it as a liberal bastion.
Yeah, stop making that shit paradise. It's paradise for whiteness.
Stop trying to make paradise happen. It's not going to happen.
Stop making paradise white. Let's leave that at that, bitch.
Oh, no. I'm going to add one more note to that.
Okay, go on.
Because most of the places that these people try to call paradise are usually full of brown people that they try to kick out anyway to try to claim it for themselves.
All right, White Diamond voice. Hello, Starlight.
Hello, Starlight.
Like John McClane in White Diamond.
Bitch, you might have just came up with something. Bitch, you might have just come up with something. We need to talk after we finish recording. Ooh, bitch. Let me finish my damn review.
Sorry, go on.
Anyway, he spent a chunk of time in that video talking, not directly, because I'm paraphrasing, but talking about how Canada ain't shit, and how its treatment of First Nations people, especially the Wolastoqiyik people, how their treatment of those people basically reduced the speakers of that language down to in the very, very low hundreds, like barely triple digits, very low hundreds.
Yep.
So he was talking, and like I was really resonating with this, how he was talking about how listening to those wax recordings and talking with his mom and his grandma allowed him to really connect with his roots like that. And I don't know, I feel like I could really resonate with that, finding a way to connect with your past like that, in the same way that like I took a ancestry test a couple years ago before I knew they weren't shit with the DNA, but whatever. You know, but then I did this ancestry thing and, you know, learned that the majority of my background, I mean, obviously is West African because slavery, but
Obviously.
the staggering majority of my background is Ghanaian and Ivorian. So at some point, I want to start learning how to cook Ghanaian food, start learning how to start cooking Ivorian food, sharpen my French, because maybe one day I want to try to visit that region, you know, and be on trade mode the whole time, because people might try to portray Africa as one unified thing, which, girl, it ain't. But the running thing is be as trade as possible for safety's sake, which I can pull off. You know, I'm a rather skilled actor. Sorry, I was trying to channel some John McClane.
You gotta go like 7 octaves lower.
Of course I do. Anyway, but I don't know. Like I said, I cannot recommend this album enough. I've been listening to it on Spotify again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Which have you never heard me do that?
That's what. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that on the podcast.
Anyway, I've listened to it a bunch of times, specifically the song I mentioned, the Pomaknaka Puktonisquest. Listen to that a bunch of times because of the three movements of it, and listen to the whole thing again because Dutcher it's already expected because he's an operatically trained tenor, but to actually hear him hold those notes long enough and put the emotion in the words, and he's even included a handful of samples of the actual wax cylinders in the album.
You know, your nigga is down for some samples.
You are the sample queen.
Oh, when that shit started happening and he played along with it, and so did the arrangement
in that video. Yeah, you gagged. Yeah, we were watching this video, and interspersed with the video, which is a fun word.
It's in one of the songs, too.
Yeah, it is in one of the songs, but like, for one of the songs that it didn't have, he was still playing the wax cylinder, and then playing the piano along with it, and then actually singing over it, and you could still kind of hear the original wax behind him.
God.
So I cannot recommend this album enough. Hang on, let me actually spell it out. The album is called, again, Wolastoqiyik Lintuwakonawa. That's Wolastoqiyik. Those last 5 letters trip me up every time. Because I'm always looking for a U after Q.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the first word. And the second word is spelled Lintuwakonawa. The album art is a picture, and I love the little attention to detail in the album art too.
So good.
In that it's a picture of Jeremy Dutcher sitting in front of something to play those wax cylinders,
Posing,
serving you profile, and wearing a traditional jacket with just some basic black slacks and shoes. But if you look in the bottom left corner of the album art, you can actually see, artistic representations of those wax cylinders that he was listening to. Sorry, I'm rambling a little bit, but I cannot recommend this. Like, my only complaint, and it's kind of a petty personal one, is that I can't understand it.
Yeah,
and I
which is
want
fair.
to. I really want to,
But
because I know that's going to.
The point of it was that you don't have
and
to.
Here's the thing: him making this album is creating a bit of a legacy. Nothing on the internet is ever forgotten, removed, or truly deleted. And so, even if every single person that speaks Wolastoqiyik dies, it is still something that is going to be saved somewhere for the rest of modern civilization.
Yeah. True.
So it's a way to immortalize a part of his culture that he was, forcibly separated from by a few generations prior. Because, as a sidebar, Canada, much like the United States, pretty much pulled a full-fledged genocide on the indigenous peoples there, including something called residential schools. Not to be confused with the residential schools for the deaf, because those actually have a purpose.
Right.
But the residential schools in Canada had a very nasty, long-running habit of cutting people's hair, forcing them to wear white-friendly clothing, and physically beating them if they spoke their native language. So, yeah, like I said, Canada's not the liberal bastion that it should be.
Right.
But I think that's... I have to stand a little. That album is amazing. I have to stand a little bit, also because Jeremy's cute.
Jeremy could fuck.
Oh, and
I like dick.
And queer representation too, because he's Two-Spirit.
Two-Spirit.
I forget the name of the band too at the Juno Awards, because he wanted to do some talking about reconciliation, which I would have been perfectly fine if at his award he either pulled a Prince, because he got the award for Best Indigenous Song or Best Indigenous Album. If he'd have pulled a Prince and just walked up like, "Thank you very much," and then left, I would have gagged. But he tried to have a little bit of speech, and those bitches tried to just play him off. And then the other
and then it was like, no, bring him back, because he wasn't done.
And don't you dare play him off either.
Oh, I lived.
That is how you be an ally.
I lived for that. No, come on back. You weren't done.
Come. They cut you off. We're gonna use our privilege and place of power and position to amplify the voice of a person.
Hello?
If only more people did that. There might actually be some pale faces at the cookout.
Oh. Being able to bring their own food because they know how to season properly.
Anyway, I'm done standing.
Right.
I'm done standing for that album.
Yeah, that album was really good.
I'm probably gonna listen to it again on my way home.
I might just get it. Anything else?
Ooh, bitch, get it on vinyl.
Oh my god.
Oh, bitch, if you got it on vinyl.
Okay, we'll get through this together. Okay. Is there anything else?
You know what? As a matter of fact, bitch, yes, there the fuck is.
Okay, here we go.
So I'm gonna start. So I mentioned earlier in the beginning that Anita Wall got me full circle fucked up. Anita Wall and his Legion of Demons had me full circle smooth the fucked up. So he was quoted as saying, or telling, border officials to turn people away, saying that the country is full, we can't support more people, etc., etc., etc. Are you serious? Are you really serious? Are you for real right now? So then why are you bitches not funding, proper birth control, proper sex ed, proper this, that, the third, the fourth, the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th? Because all of these things have been demonstrably proved that they reduce abortions. Because here's the thing, people are gonna fuck a lot. If they know how to fuck properly and how to avoid making children, then we're not gonna be adding children to this quote unquote full country. Y'all want to force pregnant people to carry kids to term in a country that is, quote, full. Like, just say that you hate brown people and
really,
go.
though?
God damn. Like, those are your words, not mine. Yes, we're full. Of course we're full. Like, nut the fuck up, say that you have a hate on for brown people, and keep it pushing. Because your actions are showing it plain as day. Further, black ass more, if you could close the border so readily and end migrants coming into the country, why the fuck do you need this ego monument called a wall?
Ooh.
Like, we've said this before, and I will continue to say it every time he spits some dumbass shit about this again. If you can close the border, you don't need a wall. And the fact of the matter is that people are ingenious. Necessity is the mother of invention. If somebody is trying to get away from some kind of shit that your government probably caused in the first fucking place, but let's not get into all of the coups that the United States has staged in Central and South America. Anyway, these people are going to figure out how to get in one way or another. Creating a wall is not going to stop that. Why not employ more people in the immigration sector and make it so that way these people can, get on the path to becoming full-fledged citizens, so you don't have something to complain about? Because more often than not, they're like, I'm trying to get away from danger. I am willing to work and be a valuable contributing member to society. I'm willing to work and do all of this. Let me the fuck in. We shouldn't have these stories about people waiting 5, 6, 7, 10, 20, 40 fucking years for their immigration papers to get approved.
Right.
Like, and then telling the border officials to break international asylum law and turn these people away.
Right, honestly.
Like, these people are running from danger. These people are literally running for their lives. And again, these people are usually running from a conflict that we had something to do with. And while I'm on the subject, literally fuck each and every one of you that is saying that it's the parents' fault for bringing their kids along with them. So you expect the parents to stay in this conflict that, again, your country caused, let their kid, either let themselves or their kids or both get killed, and you're okay with that? Okay. And I'm willing to bet that the staggering majority of these people are these raging Christians that go to church every Sunday with their shirts pressed and skirts perfectly straight and heels adjusted properly and sing all the praises to the Lord every fucking Sunday, but yet want to turn around and do, the things that the Bible explicitly says something about. Hang on, let me actually pull my goddamn I need my notes. Where are my notes? Here are my notes. So there are dozens upon dozens of verses in the Bible that explicitly say how you're supposed to treat foreigners. We can start off in everybody's favorite book to ignore, Leviticus. You shall treat the stranger who sojourns with you as the native among you, and you shall love him as yourself, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Interesting. You shall not oppress a sojourner. I'm sorry, let me actually make sure that I've got the verse and chapter correct, so that way you bitches can actually go back and check it. The one I just read was Leviticus 19:34. We've got Exodus 23:9. You shall not oppress a sojourner. You know the heart of a sojourner, for you were sojourners in the land of Egypt. Can we talk about the fact that the staggering majority of these people that are against all this immigration stuff are also white and came from somewhere in the fuck else? So they should know something about it. Let's see. Deuteronomy 10:19. Love the sojourner, therefore, for you were sojourners in the land of Egypt. We can even, skip ahead to boop 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 boop. Luke 3:11. We can jump to the New Testament. And he answered them, whoever has 2 tunics to share with him who has none, and whoever has food is to do likewise. Help the people who have nothing. Let's keep going to 1 Corinthians. In the law it is written, by people of strange tongues and by the lips of foreigners I will speak to this people, and even then they will not listen to me, says the Lord. Interesting. Like, clearly, I'm not religious. I'm pretty, anti-religious for the most part. But at the same time, a bitch went to Bible college for a year and a half, and I know things. I drink and I know things. I'm just too tall to be, Tyrion. I can keep going. Like this, I have a specific tab right here for all of the stuff that, Christians are supposed to do with foreigners. Because the thing is that they're still people. They're still humans. They still laugh and cry and love and hurt and want the same things you do. They still want life, liberty, and to pursue happiness, much like every other American is supposed to be entitled to. And a lot of these people would be more than willing to go through the actual process to become full-fledged citizens. And yeah, there's going to be some people that don't, some people that want to skirt the law, but that is irrespective of somebody's country of origin. You still got people fucking up left, right, and center from Denmark, from America, from Africa, from Egypt, from Ivory Coast, from Cameroon, from Argentina, from Canada, from Mexico, from Libya, from India, from Sri Lanka, from Australia, from New Zealand, etc., etc., etc. There are people from everywhere that are going to fuck up. So why are you so specifically trying to focus on fucking with these brown people, huh? And I can keep going. Because there's also the whole point of there are literal concentration camps happening in Texas. There are children sleeping on gravel and developing bruises and lesions because they're sleeping on gravel. And yet you've got these people who claim to be Christians that are completely okay with it. But let the government tell you that you're supposed to bake a cake because that's a service you offer, and all of a sudden you're going to scream persecution when you've got people who are literally freezing overnight.
Fine.
Yeah. There are multiple kids that have died, and there are multiple kids. There's at least one trans woman that died in custody as well.
That's true.
But you guys are okay with that because they just so happen to tan a little easier than you all. Get fucked. I'm done.
If you guys are wondering where I was still here. I was just letting him have his time. Because
I said before, the fastest way to piss me off is to fuck with kids.
Yep.
That's why I can't stand the Catholic Church as a whole.
True. All right. My rant. It's not going to be as fiery, but hello, Caucasian people.
Oh boy.
Crackers.
Let me just grab some tea to sip.
Don't touch my hair.
Didn't Solange tell him already?
Don't touch my hair. I was at work. I was at work.
My hair.
I love that interlude. I was at work, and it wasn't even a customer this time. It was a coworker. Picking on my hair because I just got my picks back, and it felt nice to have my hair completely picked out for once. She goes to reach real slow and goes, "Can I touch your hair?" And I back up. I go, "No. Why not? I just want to touch it." I said no. And then she got upset about it and butthurt because she couldn't touch my hair. Listen here, motherfuckers. I don't care if my hair is a silk press. I don't care if it's a lace front, lace back, 360 lace, Korean lace, brown lace. I don't care what if it's yaki, Remy, horse. I don't care what kind of hair I have on my head. If I say don't touch it, don't touch it. Children, that goes for you too, little children, because I will punch you across the restaurant. Don't touch my hair.
See, I'm a little nicer with kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they do the, don't do that. Do not do that.
See, because you're patient. Mm-hmm. You have patience.
No, carry on. I'm sorry.
I don't have that. Don't touch my hair. Thankfully, I'm a 6 foot tall, 300-pound, big ass motherfucker, so they can't reach me no how. Just don't touch. All respect to the kids who have asked. I said no, and they go, okay. All respect to those children, because you guys are going to grow up to be amazing, amazing people.
As long as the adults don't fuck it up.
Real shit. Just don't touch my hair. It smells great. It sure the fuck does.
So you got my.
It looks good too.
You usually have my car smelling like pink moisturizer the whole. I'm kidding.
Whatever. I use leave-in argan oil. Thank you very much. I know it smells like seasoning that you never put on your food before. I don't care. Just don't touch it. Don't reach and ask to touch it, and touch it before I answer. I have my picks are sharpened at the ends for a reason. I will stab you. I've done it before, and I will do it again. Don't touch my hair.
Don't touch my hair.
Thank you.
Next. Anyway.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with mine being tied back more often than not.
Yeah.
But
then you're just something people just like reaching behind you and trying to do it. Because I've seen that before.
Thankfully, they usually don't.
Because.
Like I said, because I'm also usually on eye level with these kids when I do my lessons.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I don't think...
But you're a saint for that, brother.
Here's the thing. I don't think... Oh, bitch. In a second. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever had anybody try. At least during my lessons.
Oh, it's like, I can't relate.
Yeah, no.
When I pick this shit out.
And see, here's the thing. Like, if I just condition and my hair is feeling like a whole ass cloud, I will offer to my roommates. Like, oh my God, my hair feels so soft, touch it.
See, like,
it's like
I have exceptions because my boyfriend can... I'm glad I didn't finish.
Oh, jeez.
That would have went
left
and not the right. I have exceptions to that rule. You can touch my hair. Ace can touch my hair. My sister and my mother obviously can touch my hair. Crackers who don't moisturize, don't put lotion on.
And Candace Owens, because she counts for that too.
Who?
Exactly.
I don't know who that
is. She's a black Republican who doesn't know what pink moisturizer looks like and tried to straighten her hair after going swimming, and that's what it looks like.
Just don't touch it.
And didn't wash the chlorine out neither.
Oh, it's hurt. That hurts. I felt so much hair fall off of my head.
Let me not go in on her appearance. Let me stop. At least let me stop.
But
on
anyway,
air,
yeah.
Because I say I'm a terrible person.
I have exceptions to the rule, but don't touch it.
Actually, you know what? I think I do want to talk about it because I do want to end us on a bit more of a positive note.
Okay.
So at the place that I teach swim lessons,
yes,
compared to when I started, because when I started, I was literally like one of 3 black people in the entire building, counting the members. But I don't know what's have been happening over these past couple years, but the demographics have been drastically changing in that area, and I've been seeing so many black people coming into the aquatics area and asking for swim lessons and asking me specifically to teach them swim lessons. And I feel equally honored and stressed because I feel like I'm contributing towards the active fighting of a stereotype, and I want to make sure I live up to that. But it's just so refreshing seeing, and I can't obviously give details on like the students that I have, at least on air.
Right.
But both American and immigrant black families.
Oh, come
like,
through.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Like I said, I can't go into too many details about it for obvious reasons, but it's so refreshing to see more and more of us in a field that's normally dominated by white people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I see a bunch of black folks on the swim team, on the high school swim team.
Come on. Mm-hmm.
And flourishing at that. It's just, I don't know why, but it's just so refreshing. I think it's just seeing that representation. I think it's kind of a watered down version of me gagging almost to the point of tears at WakandaCon.
Right.
But anyway, I just wanted to, like I said, I just wanted to end it on that note because it's a positive note, and it is something
positivity.
But unless you have anything else to say,
no.
In that case, that actually wraps up yet another episode. Hang on. How many times have you ranted about your hair getting touched?
A lot.
Okay, so clearly you need to like actually sharpen your pick and just start stabbing hoes.
I already have.
Cause
What
like,
do you think I did with the new ones?
cause like, excuse you, like that's some fucking preschool shit. Let's keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah, that's why most people haven't graduated from preschool.
Especially the president. Anyway.
Go ahead and do that outro.
Anyway, but yeah, more black families taking swim lessons gives me life, and I love seeing more and more of it. Anyway, that about wraps up yet another episode of the Baldwin Kids. If you've got any questions, comments, great ideas, or just want to say hi, shoot us an email at askthebkcast@gmail.com or give us a like and a DM on our Facebook and Instagram pages. You can get a hold of me on Twitter. I am at the Iron Magnus. That's THEIRONMAGNUS.
I'm on there as the Moon Dancer. Am I missing something there?
There's an underscore at the end.
Okay, underscore at the end. If you
Actually,
wanna...
no, there's an underscore at the beginning.
Yeah, I'm sorry. At the beginning of the end. And I just went on a live tweet tirade about Cloak and Dagger because season 2 just dropped. I should have thought about that in the third section, but it's fine.
And you were just like
my wig.
Honestly. You can catch up on that being a hot ass mess, and the writers actually retweeted and responded to some of my tweets. Because I was that much of a goddamn motherfucking mess.
You mean that much of a goddamn stan?
It was both a hot ass mess. And you can find me on Instagram as Vesta with 2 underscores. Right? Yeah. Vesta with 2 underscores or
House_of_fire.
Yeah, see, I don't.
What is with you and all these underscores?
Because a lot of them were taken.
Oh, fair point.
So I had to throw them in wherever I could. You can find me on there to see my pretty face and all
the hair that you can't touch.
The hair that you cannot touch, you can admire from a distance. Thank you.
Don't touch my hair. Anyway, we are a TSRP Network podcast, and we will see y'all next time. Do better.